Welcome back, guys. Part 2 of the year in review 2024 for my first year as a full-time reseller for sports cards or trading cards in general. Hope you guys watched part 1 where I talked a bit about my initial strategy and how I pivoted, because I realized that going on a metrics method wasn't something that was actually working well. Okay, so once I swapped that particular strategy to focus on quality cards, just focus on just the quality, okay, I realized I was doing a lot better. But here's part 2. I'm going to talk a bit about sales channel. Okay, now in the early part of 2024, I actually did a video about having multiple sales channels, and I believe a lot of you guys do believe as well to have multiple sales channels. When I talk about sales channels examples, eBay, whatnot, Fanatics Collect or PWCC, okay, Goldin, multiple auction platforms, even selling to consignment, okay, or going to card shows, so Facebook, Instagram, all sorts of things, right? Multiple sales channels, and we talk about having as many channels as possible to showcase, have as much eyes as possible to sell your cards. Now, that's exactly what I did, right? I was doing eBay, I was doing Fanatics Collect, I was also posting cards on Facebook, okay, I didn't do any whatnot, and I did sell some cards on consignment with DC Sports as well. So I was doing all of that, just to try to get as much exposure, just to get cards moving, just to get cash in as part of that original strategy that I explained to you guys earlier. But then I encountered into some difficulty. There was no much actual focus, right, on any one of these platforms. Whichever I felt that, hey, maybe this card would do better on Fanatics Collect, maybe this card would do better on eBay, or that one I should send to consignment. So I had all this thinking in my mind, but didn't really feel that, there was no cohesiveness, right? I just wanted to just push, okay. And then I come to a realization at the half-year point in June of this year, when I look at my numbers, I realized that my sales were very spread out, okay, across the platforms. Some were doing well, some were not doing so. Like eBay was doing well in terms of the margin perspective, okay. Fanatics Collect wasn't doing very well in terms of margins. I was doing okay with Facebook, but the volume was not very high, okay. And normally when you come to this point, you would say that, okay, let's just focus on one or two platforms that generate the best results. And at that point in time, I felt that eBay was the one that's going to do very well, and there's plenty of successful full-time sellers doing on eBay at this present moment, okay. And you can see some of them doing very well, okay, and they've established eBay stores for the longest period of time. I do also follow some of these channels, and also some other eBay resellers, non-sports card related, that do very well on eBay, and I get pretty inspired as well. And I made a decision to try to focus on doing eBay, okay, and basically, doing diligence on the listing, putting listing up once a day, high quality photos, high quality listings, just pricing right, factoring the heavy fees from eBay. But I tell myself that will generate the best amount, or potentially the best amount return from there, okay. But I realized that at a point in time, if you watch my last video, I was kind of pivoting from the 100 rule into focus on high quality, which means that the quantity of items actually decline. Okay, now it doesn't mean that I wasn't sending cards to PSA. It's just that from initially just trying to push a couple, 150 cards at any one point in time, it went down to as low as like 40 cards, 2 submissions or 3 submissions at most. So I wasn't getting the kind of volume back from PSA as frequent as I did in the first half of the year. So we're sitting in July right now, and I'm getting back an order a month, maybe sometimes 2. Okay, not that many items for sale, and some of the cards that doesn't really do so well, I'm just going to push it on auctions. But the stuff that's actually from the buy now best offer wasn't that many, okay. But all in all, it wasn't like a lot of transactions, right, in that month. I was probably doing maybe, say, close to 20 to 30 transactions in a month. It's not a lot, okay. But what eBay has as part of the rule is they are very focused on customer satisfaction. So, which means that customer feedback is pretty important. Right, customers' overall satisfaction with the whole transaction, be it you sell a $10 card, a $100 card, or a $10,000 card, that satisfaction from that one customer just counts the same, okay. And I learned that the hard way, whereby things that beyond my control. Okay, even though certain items I send by USPS, right, and USPS is out of my control, I leave it to the logistics side, and sometimes you guys probably can attest to this, and sometimes the car just goes in circles or the tracking gets lost. Maybe the cars get delivered, but the status is not there, and get one dissatisfied customer, and that pulls down your rating. Now, I'm not talking about negative feedback, right? Any negative feedback, you can actually give a response back to eBay and try and get it removed. So that's okay. I'm still having 100% positive feedback on eBay with 2,000 over feedbacks. But the satisfaction rating, right? Maybe the item came late and he gives a poor rating on the item came late, and that affects your seller dashboard, right? And because eBay is very strict on the percentages on this, like you can't get below, for example, I can't remember the exact number, but let's say below 1.5%. Okay. Now, if you're selling 1,000 items a month, 5,000 items a month, 1% equals to what? 50? 10, right? Now, 10 dissatisfied customer, that's fine. 1%, you still got a bit of margin. But when you're doing like just 20, right, 20 to 30 transactions a month, given your dollar value, 100, 150, maybe 500, maybe 1,000, okay, just get one dissatisfied customer, and that just breaches the threshold automatically. 1 out of 30 is 3%. Right, straight away. And eBay gives you a red flag, gives you some warning, you get a call up from the eBay rep, ask you what's going on, you explain, but then again, they impose some restrictions on you. Okay, I've experienced that firsthand, restrictions. Now, the first one's a bit light, and then after a while, when it happens the second time, then it gets a bit more serious. But I realized that given the way that my business is heading, this is not something that I should be banking on something that's beyond my control. And this is very important learning for this year. You want to be successful in your business, you have to be in control with almost every aspect of this business. Okay, things that you cannot control, PSA grading. Okay, you can't control the graders, you can't control what grades you're going to get eventually, but you can control what cards you send to PSA. Right, you can be very strict with the quality, you can be very lenient with the quality, that's entirely up to you, but that's within your control. The outcome you can't control, but you can control what goes in. With logistics, right, shipping, you can say that you have the best packaging and whatnot, but with as far as timing is concerned, how long the packages take to get to the customer using a postal system that that's known for being late occasionally, that's beyond control. So therefore, I make a decision to not sell on eBay. I thought I did a video on this as well, and to move entirely my business to Fanatics Collect, which is a relationship that I work with them. Love-hate relationship. I did videos on that as well for a couple of years already, but because of the dealer program that they offer, they give incentive for ramping up the sales. And I talked about the start of this video, I had my sales very diversified into many different buckets, right? eBay, Fanatics Collect, through consignment, Facebook. I decided to just consolidate everything and move everything into Fanatics Collect in the third quarter, the start of the fourth quarter of this year, 2024. And that has worked out well, beyond well. Okay, the commissions on the dealer program is very competitive, okay, and it's definitely something that works well for a business like mine, because I don't need to worry about shipping. Okay, I just worry about getting cards to the vault, okay, which I use FedEx. It's safe and it's just one-time shipping, and just move from there. Just move, do the sales all within one platform. The only thing that's within your control, right, is how active that platform is and how many people are actually viewing those auctions. But in the last 9 months, right, Fanatics Collect have done an absolutely amazing job, okay, to really push the marketing, to really push the visibility, and to get people on board the site to buy. I couldn't say the same about this in the year before, I would say, okay, to be honest. But 2024 was the year that they stepped up, and I decided that was the right platform for me to jump on. And by end of Q3, heading to Q4, and now we're sitting in end of December, realized I made the best decision to focus exclusively with these guys to yield, I would say, the best results they have done compared to the rest of the year, just being spread out amongst all. Okay, so that's the recap on the sales platform. That concludes part 2 of my year review. Stick around for part 3. Yes, that's a part 3 coming out. Like, subscribe, follow me. Thanks for watching. Till next one.